Hello!
Good afternoon.
Hi there.
And welcome to Meet at the Hotel Bar. We are Huss,
JC.
and
Freddie.
from the band Floors, a three-piece indie pop band from London via Huddersfield.
So, since we started touring with Floors, travelling the world, and during our previous lives as session musicians, we realised that there's so many funny things that happen on and off stage, and so many stories that never get shared with the rest of the world. They just stay in the dressing rooms and tour buses of the bands and artists you love.
Until now. In this podcast, we're lifting the lid on life on the road. And where better to meet up and tell those touring tales than a place every touring musician knows well, the trusty hotel bar.
In today's episode, we met up with the amazingly talented and knowledgeable Thom Powers. Thom is an incredibly gifted songwriter and producer and musician, and best known for playing in his band The Naked and Famous. We were out in LA writing and recording our second album and met up with Thom at our hotel bar after a session.
Stay tuned to hear stories of beef with Machine Gun Kelly, a spoiler alert for Bake Off 2021, and Freddie's impression of Huss's mom.
Thom is such a great dude, wise beyond his years, and we really enjoyed working on some new music in the studio together.
This is Thom from The Naked and Famous coming up on Meet at the Hotel Bar. I think we should start the podcast today by ordering a beer. So, Thom, what would you like to drink?
The House Pilsner.
Good choice, good choice.
Yeah.
I think barman will take 4 of those.
So yeah, thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing? You good?
I'm great. Thank you so much for suggesting we come out to get beers.
Bullying you into...
Oh, I don't need much bullying to come out for a drink.
It's hard earned, isn't it? We've been in the studio together. We've had a few days writing.
Absolutely.
So yeah, a beer is definitely in order.
Yeah.
It certainly is. And with that, guys, let's raise our glass.
Cheers to a very successful hang studio.
Cheers. So we're currently in Los Angeles. Are we in Silverlake?
Yeah.
This is technically Silverlake.
Yeah. We've never actually played a show in the States before. Like we've only ever come to the studio. We can't wait to one day play shows. So the first question we're going to ask is where's your favorite place to play in the States?
Oh, okay. It depends on what you're seeing, right? So there's the Echo and the Echoplex, which you'll definitely play. Mm-hmm. Maybe both, right?
Okay.
So Echo is the smaller one, the Echoplex is the bigger one. I always get it around the wrong way. But then there's a club room, and then there's a step up sort of room, and I saw Lord play there.
Oh my
Do you know what
God.
I mean? Like everyone, you gotta do it, or they don't let you into the country, I think. So and then there's the Fonda, which is an amazing kind of mid-level venue that has tiered. There's an upstairs and a downstairs. Fonda is probably one of my favorite places to go because it's not too big, not too small.
I think we're going there on Friday.
Yeah, we're actually going this Friday to see a band called The Aces that are also signed to the same label as us. So that'll be our first time there, but looking forward to seeing it, yeah.
And I think we've actually been to the Echo as well. I think we saw the Japanese house there.
Oh, did we?
A few years ago.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's quite an intimate venue, a few hundred
Yeah.
maybe.
And it's
Yeah,
this side
totally.
of... It's in Echo Park.
Exactly. It's back that way. But so it's actually 2 venues attached that you can access via a stairwell, but they shut them off. So they have the Dirty Punk gigs upstairs, and then downstairs is where they'll have slightly scaled up stuff. They used to do emo night there. Have you guys heard of emo night?
I haven't heard, but I want to go.
My friends started it, and it was like at this little bar around the corner from where I live, and it was emo night was 50 people showing up and playing emo records, and now they tour the country.
Wow.
They tour the USA, taking emo night around everywhere, and it's nuts. And I've seen Mark Hoppus showed up once, the guys from Good Charlotte showed up, all these kind of adjacent punk emo people will rock up. I think Halsey's been to it as well. It's kind of nuts. Yeah.
We need to go to that.
Yeah, we definitely do.
It's
100%.
rad. If you can hit it up, do it. I've never screamed so much in my adult life.
Okay, so speaking of shows, so when you're playing a gig, obviously you have a rider and you're able to ask the venue or the promoter to get some snacks or some drinks for your dressing room. And we've heard of some pretty diva-ish moments from certain acts out there. And we wondered what the most diva-ish item that you've requested on a rider has been?
That's good. So you'd heard that I was a diva about riders, and you were like, "Oh, let's ask him." Well, I have had some stupid stuff, but it's like essential things. I'll be like underwear and socks.
That's a good shout.
Like with very specific, I'll be like briefs, like not white briefs. It'll like I say in bold, like not white briefs. Like I've done that, socks, but I have said some really passive aggressive, like spoiled artist crap about hummus and stuff. Like just hummus, like not the cheap brand, on the, like, I'm sure I've done worse as well. I'm struggling to remember because I'm that bad. You know what I mean?
It's a good thing not to be a diva.
We heard a story about the who was it that was saying today that they had a puppy, that they brought a puppy to every show?
Yeah, we were chatting to an engineer earlier on, and he used to tour the country, and they put puppies on the rider, or just dogs.
Just everyone was in such a
so
smiley mood.
Yeah, like the people at the venue would have to bring one of their pet dogs. They wouldn't just like go out and buy a puppy and then leave it. It was someone's pet.
I swear it's Grimes who has that on her
Oh, really?
rider. I think she has animals backstage.
Apparently,
yeah.
it's great for morale. Keeps everyone
Absolutely.
smiling.
We had one time a rescue organization come backstage and bring puppies and kittens, and like it was pretty ace. It was really exciting. So yeah, highly recommend.
We won that.
Get it on the rider. So, Tom, we know you're a very polite person, and we're all lovely guys ourselves, but we were
So modest.
So modest.
we're going to dig a little deeper now.
Let's do it.
So we want to know if you've had, and you feel free to say names or not say names, if you've had any beef with another artist. This is the beef section.
Oh yeah, totally. I'm happy to.
We went there.
Yeah, that's fine. Because this is all public anyway.
What's the beef?
But you can see it on. You can find it if you Google. If you Google it, it'll pop up like as a funny headline. This is years ago, but Machine Gun Kelly sampled Youngblood without our permission and released it on a bootleg EP and named the EP after it's called Half Naked and Almost Famous. He won an award for the song and straight-faced accepted the award for like MTV and said, "Yeah, I wrote that song." Not like I wrote that song over the top of the Naked and Famous. It's a great song. I'm really appreciative that they let me use it or anything like that. Just I wrote that song. That's how he accepted the award. So I called him out on Twitter, and then we started a little beef. And I've been bitter about it ever since.
And have you spoken to him since?
No, never. But I've heard horrible things about him.
So today
we've actually got a surprise.
So welcome today.
Hey, Machine Gun.
What's his real name as well? I bet it's something like, like Daniel or
I
something.
think it's actually, is it Coulson?
Coulson.
I think that's a good little bit of knowledge. I think it's Coulson.
Freddie's top tip.
Yeah. Does he?
There you go.
That
It's
wasn't
funny.
that good. I was waiting for the moment to use that for the first time. I feel like I've ruined it.
No, I think that's good.
That was good.
Felt
Although you
natural.
should have used it when I said his like artist name.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do that again.
We'll do that in post.
Next question. What's your craziest fan story? Have you ever had anyone ask you to do something, or what's your craziest fan encounter?
You know what? I've been lucky that the Naked and Famous has had really nice fans. I think that maybe they're just the kind of music we've made. It attracts like design students and other musicians and like really nice people mostly. So I'm sure there's something that I'm forgetting, but it's more that I've had crazy stories. Like one time a guy wrote to us that he's been shelled in an armored vehicle in the Middle East listening to one of our songs to keep him calm.
Oh, wow.
So he just it's been like, thanks for, the song's called What We Want. And it was like not a single or anything. It's just like, I listened to this to keep me from thinking I'm going to die. And it was, so like moments like that have been trippy. Do you know what I mean? Not crazy, heavy more than anything. Or people saying, okay, there's one song that we have called I Killed Giants, right? And it's about Elisa losing her mom when she was like 7 years old. I've taken a really heavy turn here, but she lost her parent, and she wrote the song and like told all the fans about it. And so people who'd lost loved ones and family members would like write to us and say, I love this song, it connects with me. So it's more like that stuff that sticks with me.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm sure we got some fucking bonkers fans. I'm just like, I can't remember them.
It's time to get crazy fans. Feel free to do some crazy shit.
Yeah. And the other cool, tell you what, Uber fans, we've got like awesome Uber fans that'll like make us stuff, like drawings and like art and stuff and send it to us, which is pretty rad. And I keep all that. Tell you what, we got one, I would not call him crazy. He's great. We have this lovely fan who's just like hardcore, went to so many shows, and he knew it was my birthday, and he knew I was big into Batman, and he got like this Batman doll, like an action figure, but then replaced it with like a weird sort of caricature of my head that he had like crafted, and like
he made it himself,
like a bobblehead. No, like he commissioned someone to make this and put the bobblehead on top of the Batman. So I have like a bobblehead Batman version of me.
That is amazing.
Which is nuts, but he's like a dude. Like, I don't know. Every time I meet like a hardcore fan who's like kind of shaking, and I'm like, yeah, let's go have a drink at the bar. You know what I mean? And then you meet them and like they're normal people, and so I don't know.
I'd really like a bobblehead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the US Office, and Dwight has a bobblehead.
I'm gonna hit up this guy and find out where he made them, and get
Send
you
us a link.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, so do you have any touring hacks or top tips, I guess, for fellow musicians that are experiencing tour life and maybe are new to the game?
Yeah.
Any tips you'd give them?
There's a great book that I'm obsessed with called Why We Sleep. It is nuts how connected sleep is to like just everything about the human body, right?
So Matthew Walker.
Yeah.
Well, hey.
Oh
nice.
my god. Hey, so okay, well you know all about it. So I feel like that is
That's a reason not to get into music and touring.
yeah. Read the book, then change careers. No, I feel like that is like I've had serious mental health like struggles on tour because I just have not slept, and I didn't realize that what was killing me, was my lack of sleep. So I feel like that is such a big thing. Like, learn what kind of sleep you are, prioritize it, make it important, because it's not just sleep, it's how you're going to function the next day, it's how your memory's going to work, it's how you're going to work, it's how... Excuse me.
We can edit that out.
Yeah, don't worry, we'll edit that out.
No,
we're not editing it out.
Yeah, leave it in. So... I'm speaking very like declarative. I'm declaring, right? Like, but I think everybody should prioritize their sleep because, yeah, you want to be your best self, right? And I feel like it's really important. So that would be my biggest hack, I think. That and something we were talking about the other day, being in the moment.
Yeah.
I feel like on tour, I look back at so many situations where I was like just moving on to the next thing and focusing on trying to progress, and I'm sad that I missed some good moments where like I don't remember what I did on the morning of Coachella weekend 1. Like I don't know. I was like, oh, I gotta get to the gig, and like I was stressing out. I was like, some moments like that just passed me by. I don't remember Reading and Leeds. I don't remember it at all. Don't remember the stage. Don't remember the backstage. I don't remember anything. And like I'm gutted about stuff like that because I was so like, I've got to be productive. I've got to achieve.
Yeah, I'm literally the same. It's so crazy. I can remember what happened we recently played Reading and Leeds. I remember what happened at Leeds. We literally we were first on the Radio 1 stage, and we were like really nervous. This is a festival we dreamed of playing, and we're like backstage and we're about to like go on, and Huss is like, he's like, I've lost my ring.
Oh yeah,
I've lost my grandma's ring.
Oh,
no, it was my dad's ring.
Oh,
so
shit.
I put, whenever I play on stage, I put all my rings on like a little, like a climbing hook.
Yeah.
Attach it to my belt, and then they're next to me. And I was in the dressing room.
It was like the countdown. We were at the
Yeah.
countdown. It was like 2 minutes to go.
And I was like, where is my dad's ring? I don't know where it is. Like, lost it. There was only 2 on my ringlet thing, and I was like, well, going on stage, so can't really look for it now. And yeah, played the show. Actually forgot about it as soon as we started playing. Obviously, my mind's elsewhere.
Yeah.
And then walked off stage. Remembered, started freaking out again. No one could find it anywhere. I was checking the grass. I was checking like all the mud underneath the tour buses. I was asking different bands if they'd seen it. Like,
oh my gosh.
And then we were packing down the stage, and it was just so. Next to my kit, I've got like a load of electronics and stuff, and it had landed on one of the volume knobs on one of my electronics and was just sat with me on stage the whole time. Picked it up, put it on my finger, and there it is.
Oh, wow. Can I also just say that is one of the best sort of pre-show rituals I've ever heard. It's real too. It's, you know how like people don't really have pre-show rituals anymore.
Yeah.
You know, I've been asked that as well. What's your pre-show ritual? I'm like, I don't know, like brush my teeth. You know, like not look terrible when I wander out on stage. That's quite. I like
This
that.
is only
It's
a
quite cool.
recent thing because my rings started to crack whenever I played drums.
Oh.
The sticks just hitting too hard, so I can't afford all the jewelry bills. So take
Nice.
them off.
Little
Don't
hum-
break the rings anymore. Oh, don't lose them.
Little humble brag there, like I just hit this drums like just like way too hard. Like
I'm so strong.
I smash gold rings.
No, it's just admitting bad technique.
Nah, you are a hard hitter. You are.
I do hit hard.
It's scary.
As these next questions will. So we've now
Nice.
quite
Nice
nicely
transition.
done a transition into the quick fire round.
Quick fire round.
So we're going to shoot some words at you, and we'd just like to hear your opinion on first thing that comes into your head, first thought.
Got it.
So, for example, if we were to say like Christmas, the response would be like Santa Claus.
Right.
When we say the Never Nudes, you say,
Fuck them.
and we'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Worst band from New Zealand.
When we say Machine Gun Kelly.
Coffee date.
Coffee date.
Yeah, like I'd go to coffee with them. I'd sit down and be like, listen,
Nice.
You'd
what was it
educate
all
him.
about?
Yeah. I
Like,
think
what's
he
your
needs-
problem? What? Yeah, I would do that. I would.
That's good.
Wouldn't be a beer because I think he's a bit unhinged, but maybe coffee. You know what I mean?
Nice. Yeah. Rising
Sorted-
above the beef.
Yeah,
I like
sort
that.
it out on my own as well. You know, like he could bring a posse. I'll go on my own.
Yeah, you back yourself. I like it. Okay, next question. When we say diphthong, you say
Oh, vocal producing.
Yeah, this was something that was said the other day, and I was just amazed. I feel like you're a very intelligent guy, and there's so many words. I learned so much in that session.
Thanks.
A diphthong, like, you know, I never knew that existed.
It's a cool thing. It's a cool thing to know if you're tracking vocals or you want to do vocal producing. You know, the closing of the vowel. Or, like vowels have two sounds, right? And sometimes like you're working with the singer and they're having trouble, and you're like, hey, it's because you're closing that vowel. Like keep it open, sing the O, not W. You know.
you need to work on your diphthongs, mate.
Working your diphthong.
Okay, next up, the Great British Bake Off.
Oh, so sad to see Lizzie go.
Whoa!
Whoa, spoiler alert,
Oh
spoiler.
no, you haven't seen it.
We've not. We can't. I mean, I watch it with like my fiance at home, so like I can't.
Oh, I've
Yeah,
just
we're both
ruined
sorry
it. Sorry,
episodes
and you
behind.
told me that the other day as well. I just figured that it was so important. Being English, I thought, like, clearly they'll just prioritize this over everything they're doing on their writing trip here in LA. Sorry.
It's all right. I actually
It's
I
fine.
can't think of who Lizzie
Yeah,
is, so
nor can I.
I'm just
I'm-
gonna leave it.
Okay, good.
All I can remember is, in fact, I can't remember. I remember the German guy.
Jürgen. I'll
Jürgen,
give you my
what a
I'll give
legend.
you my Netflix login if you want to watch it.
It's all right. We have the login. I feel like if I watched it.
we'll take the Netflix login, Tom. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll take the login. We'll take the login.
Yeah, all yours. All yours. Sweet.
Okay, we got one more.
Okay, and the last quick fire round question or word is Friggy.
Friggy. I mean, just one of the best things to come out of our session together, really, I think.
Anyone care to explain?
I don't know what you're talking about.
We were going to order some beers to be delivered, and Fred said, "Do they come from the Friggy?"
Come from the Friggy.
Are they cold? Yeah.
But also, where were you going to go after that? Like, I want to know. We stopped you, we cut you off because it was honestly just a beautiful sentence. But, like, where was it going to go afterwards?
Well, truthfully, my nickname for Huss is E. And so I was actually saying, do they come from the fridge, E? And I was actually referring to you.
Terrible form, not true. My nickname is my nickname currently. So we should probably explain. We have numerous nicknames for each other all the time, and they change all the time. It's hard to keep up. Mine is Fiddy currently, because when I arrived in Los Angeles, my my phone provider, not mentioning any names, EE, only gave me 50 megabytes of data, and it was terrible. I couldn't.
Hence the name Fiddy.
Fiddy, right.
Fiddy,
I can't
but
remember what mine was.
Don't worry, it's now unlimited.
Nice.
Yeah,
He's upgraded.
I upgraded those add-ons.
Wait, that means you're like, is that like your hip hop name could be Lil Fiddy?
Yeah. Well, why Lil?
Fiddy gig.
Because don't you put like Lil in front of it?
And it's not.
Oh yeah. Wait,
50
sorry.
megabytes. It's 50
yeah,
meg.
50 meg.
50 meg.
50 gig would be pretty
That's
good.
true.
50
actually.
gigs. That's great. That was my old payment plan. Those are the days.
That's the end of the round. We would usually do the pub game, but we don't have that. Maybe we'll have some food and we can do the pub game after.
Freddie, pass the ketchup. Ladies and gentlemen,
We're back.
welcome back. We've finished our food.
So I had some tater tots. Actually, me and Huss shared some tater tots.
I feel like a tater tart right
yeah,
now.
yeah, I'm pretty full. And the mac and cheese. Freddie, what did you have?
I had chicken burger and fries. There
Not
was a lot
bad.
of beige on this table.
Yeah.
Not
I
many
had
vegetables.
vegetarian enchiladas.
Oh, and what?
Not bad as well. I like all of your American accent emphasis. Well done with your R's.
Thank you.
Thank
Tater
you.
tots.
Yeah, not bad.
Tater tots.
Tom, what did you have to eat?
What did I have? A burger.
A burger.
Got rid of the R's there.
Yeah, a burger. Can you tell the difference between Freddie's accent and mine and Huss's accent?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, you can.
Totally. Oh yeah.
yeah, we're trying to teach Freddie how to speak. He's not very eloquent.
We're trying to, yeah.
You fancy a brew? You're brewing up, Josh.
Never gets old. That's Fred's impression of my mum, by the way.
Oh right.
You want some flapjacks?
Shout out, Christine.
Shout out, Chris.
I feel intimidated because like around my American friends, I'll make English jokes that I'm not like, entitled to make. Like I'll say in it all the time. Like around them and they think it's funny and like but around you guys I've noticed how many times I've felt intimidated because I'm like oh that's not they're gonna judge I'm gonna get that wrong, I'm gonna put that in the wrong place.
Well, you can try. Let's see if we can get in it or two into the closing.
I'm so
scenes.
self-conscious now. I don't wanna- now I'm reverting to like Kiwiisms because I'm you know what I mean, that's my
Why don't you teach us a few?
Kiwiisms.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So just don't open your mouth very much when you speak. So it's
pretty
like,
good
you know,
at that
it's kind of
already.
like that. Yeah.
that's
Well, yeah,
actually
you've already
what
got
we do
that.
in Yorkshire because it's cold up there.
There's
Yeah.
like nothing that you can do. It's like quite close to.
That's very good.
Australian.
I think
Yeah.
it's like a little bit there. That's not quite there, right?
You sound like
New Zealand?
Chris Lilly. You know when he did
yeah.
the gym, not the gym, teacher, the
Something
drama
high.
teacher. That was
Oh yeah,
Summer High Tie.
Mr.
G.
Mr. G.
Mr. G. Yeah.
Nice.
That was
The
good.
bar is completely empty, by the way.
Yeah, we've totally cleared the room.
And I feel like they've turned the music up. as
Music's
well.
There's
gone
two
up.
people.
Yeah, so to any people thinking about following a career in music or just at the start of that journey, do you have any advice for those people?
Yeah, don't. No, I think.
Reconsider.
yeah.
Sorry, the delay there.
I'll edit
I
I'll cut
literally
out that
picked up
delay.
my water as that moment happened, and
Can
it
you give
was
us a heads up
slow
when you're going to
motion.
crack a joke, please? That
Sorry.
would be really great.
I feel like you should, with the next interview you do with someone else, you got to ask the same thing, and so you can string together a whole series of you asking the question and every guest saying, "Don't
Yeah.
bother," just like one after the
It's
other.
gonna happen.
Don't do
Yeah.
it.
I think that I would say I used to teach at the School of Rock in New Zealand. I used to teach kids.
Really?
And
Jack
it was
Black. No, what's he called?
Legit. That was me.
No, Mr. Ned Schneebly. That was it. Sorry, carry on.
Where did that come from?
Ned Schneebly. That's what it's called.
Ned Schneebly.
Shout out Ned.
So I feel like, and something that stuck out to me was I could pick the teenagers and young kids who were like really going to go for it, right? They loved music. I feel like it's important to figure out if you really want to do it because it can be disheartening to be discouraged and quit. So I think that's an important thing to figure out is whether you really want to do it because it's not fulfilling in the way that most jobs are. It's fulfilling for different reasons, right?
Yeah.
So I think, and especially now, the way that the industry is changing, it's worth thinking about whether you have got whether your head's in it for the right reason, right? So I feel like that sounds very like discouraging, but maybe that's just like getting older and me being a bit more worried now. I'm like trying to like warn children about everything. But you know what? I think the most important thing that I've learned being in the music industry is always keep learning. Just assume that you never know enough. The minute you think you've got it all figured out is when you start to seem dated or behind, you know, or jaded, I guess. So I think just keeping that constant assuming that you are stupid and you have something to learn. I think that is just the most, and for me, that's like with life advice. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter what I'm doing, assuming a degree of ignorance safeguards you from screwing up.
I think it gives you a sense of achievement as well. If you're constantly learning something, you're constantly striving to achieve the next.
True, and that is a very like motivating feeling. If you're always looking, I think, it's like that like happy ignorance is so exciting when you kind of like get something right.
Yeah.
Because it's like, wow, I feel very proud of it, you know? I feel like songwriting's like that, you know?
I always find whenever we do these trips, when the three of us spend all this time together, I feel like I'm in a constant place of learning being around Freddie.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Freddie's full of top tips. Ties very nicely into Freddie's top tip of the week. Do you have a top tip for today? Putting you on the spot.
If you're ever in LA, head to a spot called Chica's for the best burritos in town.
And the best merch.
So yeah, we just wanted to round things up. Round things up? No.
Square things off.
It's great. It's great. Round things down.
Just want to foul things down.
So, yeah, we want to thank you for being here. Is there anything else that you would like to tell us? We've heard some rumors of a potential project that you've got coming out soon, so we'd love to hear more.
I appreciate that.
this.
I've been like yammering on about it all, like just every minute that you guys will let me speak about it. So I'm doing a solo album. It's coming out, I don't know when, but next year. And I just mastered it last week.
We actually got a sneak peek of it.
Yeah, true. I did play it. I played you my first single featuring Julian Baker, who worked with me on that song. Very excited about that. It was cool to work with her. I love her music and a big fan. So I was all kind of giddy and nervous to work with her. I was like, I hope that I'm cool enough for her. Do you know what I mean? Like I was nervous.
That was like us, but with you.
Exactly.
That's funny. I appreciate that. Thank you. And then you got to know me and you're like, shit, what have we got ourselves into?
Get this guy on the podcast. That's what we said.
He can't shut up. We need to give him something to do. So that's been me for the last year, is working on that, and I'm honestly really nervous about it coming out.
It gets real when you get to the mastering process as well, because that's it.
I know.
Like,
and I'm going, oh, maybe I should have waited 3 more weeks and changed the mix a little bit and blah, 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 blah. But art is never finished, only abandoned. So I am committing to the end. I'm working on the artwork and the video treatments and stuff, which I actually find that stage of it really exciting. Like, you know, the art and how it's going to enter the world and how I'm going to let go of it. I'm not as worried about how it's received. I actually enjoy now doing it for the sake of doing it.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting. I feel nervous being like, you know, from a band and then going out and doing like a solo thing. It's got a weird extra layer of like pressure, and maybe that's imagined and no one cares. Like it's just fine. It's whatever. Like, but I don't know.
And do you think fans that are listening to your solo stuff will be able to hear the influence and the sound that you've brought to the Naked and Famous? Do you think, is it like a...
Good question. I don't know. I think that I am very worried about trying to reinvent. So I put so much effort into it trying to sound fresh and original. And I think I'm also so concerned about the Naked and Famous from like a maturity standpoint, because I was like 19 when I started that band and was touring it when I was in my early 20s, and now I'm in my 30s. And that's kind of what the album is about. Like it's about basically turning 30 and having like moved on from your early 20s self, right? And just trying to figure out who am I as an adult. And so I feel like I'm maybe overly conscious of that in the music. Like I'm worried, like, is this adult enough? Is this mature enough? Is this more grown up? So I don't know. I might put it out and Naked and Famous fans will be like, what is this? This is rubbish. You know, like it might really not resonate with them at all. I'm kind of hoping that it strikes a chord in a different kind of listener or fan. You know, it's definitely not young music. It's definitely not youthful music. And I feel maybe that's because I'm getting old. I feel old. So I'm like, you know what? I don't know if I want to reach kids. I think I want to reach with my stuff, like people who are my age, who are going through things that I'm going through. You know, I'm singing about stuff like getting sleep, you know, worrying about like just the anxiety of age and like feeling old and worrying about feeling old and like feeling irrelevant and, you know, and having a wife. You know, there's stuff about, it's just it's not like when you're young and you write romantic songs about girls chasing babes, you know, in it.
Yeah.
But this is
Nice.
thanks. Sorry, I tried. I was really nervous. But this is more about like, what's a long-term relationship look like with a partner and growing up, getting rid of that 20-year-old boy brain and trying to become a serious, responsible, considerate adult man. You know. Anyway.
And I guess the fans that joined the Naked and Famous in the 2000s will hopefully, they will have grown up too. So
Yeah, let's hope
Good
so.
point. True. I don't think I considered that. That is a really good point, and now I feel relieved.
There we go.
Just thought of that. Thank you.
Voice of
I
wisdom.
mean, from what I've heard, it sounds sick. Like, it
Thank
sounds like so cool. Like, I mean, I'm a huge fan of like the likes of like Thom Yorke. So, it definitely. I mean, I said that straight away, and it's like, yeah, it's sick. So,
You heard it here first. That's the press quote. I'm a fan of Thom Yorke. It's good. It's great. Thank you.
and on that note, we'd like to thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute blast. We can't wait to hear the full album.
And we can't wait to share with you the
Oh, yeah,
song that
we did,
we wrote
yeah.
together as well.
The world.
Oh, yeah.
To anyone listening. Yeah.
Likewise, thank you for having me. It was a blast to be with you guys in the studios. You're very professional, smart, capable, funny, and a good hang. So I'm just saying that for your fans and anyone listening.
Timing.
Never gets old.
Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Cheers, fellas.
A huge thanks to Thom for being part of the podcast and to the city of Los Angeles for having us. Let us know in the comments who you thought had the best accent impression.
In it. Also, we couldn't do this podcast without you guys listening. So a huge thanks to you for being part of the Flaws family.
If you do like what you hear and you haven't already, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It really does make so much difference for us, especially now as we're just starting out.
Join us next time where we'll be chatting to Natty from Fickle Friends. Expect nightmare stories from onstage in Bingley, Natty's guide to securing work with Harry Styles, and an array of off-topic tangents seemingly beginning with the letter C. Caves, car insurance, curries, cats, and coffee. Only on... We should try and do a harmony.
Nailed it.